Hot off of the heels of a blistering loss in a rap battle, we have Drake with the Melodies coming back with a new album called Some Sexy Songs for You, which also happens to be a collab album with PartyNextDoor. But does he accomplish what he set out to do here, or was this a failure? We'll find out in my impressions of Drake, Some Sexy Songs for You. Let's go. What's up, guys? I am Aaron, and this is In Crowd Network. Before we get into this, please do us the favor, lock in with all of our socials. We're on IG, TikTok, X. We're here on YouTube. If you like the content, follow, subscribe, hit the like button. Really share that content, get it out there, because we upload on a weekly basis because we're trying to entertain the masses, you know? So come on, lock in with us. Now, as I mentioned, I am here to give my impressions of Some Sexy Songs for You. 21 tracks. It's well over an hour long. Drake, PartyNextDoor. Now, let's just start with one thing first. Even though this is supposed to be quote-unquote an R&B album, neither Drake nor Party are known for their vocal skills. Let's be honest. They put a lot of effects on their voice. They heavily use auto-tune. And quite frankly, the writing that is in these songs is not what you would expect from traditional R&B. It's kind of misogynistic to a degree. Drake is always talking about taking someone's girl. It's just weird stuff. But in the rap battle, Kendrick did say, I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he acts tough. Maybe Drake took heed to that and said, let me throw back to when I first hit the scene and people were digging me because I was making melodic music. I was doing a lot of hooks. Maybe that's what he thought. So he put together this body of work. Unfortunately, I personally don't think that this body of work does what he may have intended to do. I don't really get the sexy vibe from this. I don't get a romantic vibe from this. It does not feel like a cohesive album. It does not feel like a well-produced album. It feels like an album that was made from songs that were probably recorded around the CLB era, Certified Lover Boy era, that he decided not to use. And because they were kind of just sitting in a folder somewhere, it's like, hey, let's put this together and let's put out an album. Ask PartyNextDoor to throw some vocals on some of these tracks, and boom, we have the album that we have today. But I personally don't feel like this album really accomplishes that. I mean, just one of the things, for instance, beef. He mentions in one of the tracks, which is Brian Steele, that Broski hit him up and said to kill all the beef. But then in the next track, he says, which is Give Me a Hug, he says that he's not interested in beef. But then he goes ahead and throws a shot at Joe Budden. Just doesn't feel right. There's a really horrible track on here called Meet Your Padre, where Drake uses this really bad Spanish accent. He does some Espanol. It doesn't sound good. It does not come together. It's a really bad track. I don't know what the idea was when they were trying to put that together. I don't know where sexy songs come in when you're listening to tracks like Brian Steele and Give Me a Hug. While Give Me a Hug is probably, in my personal opinion, the best track on the album, what's sexy about that? You're throwing shots, you're rapping. It doesn't feel sexy to me. All in all, I don't think that this is a good album, and I really had high expectations for this because it's Drake, you know, especially when Drake sits down and really tries to create a good piece of work. He does that. He can create good work, but lately he's just been putting out really lackluster work. Behind this album, we have albums like Honestly Nevermind, which was another atrocity in my opinion. So just on an impression scale, I think that this album falls short. I don't find anything sexy about it. There's no writing here that's going to be changing anything. There is some decent production. There are some decent beats. There's, in my opinion, nothing really memorable happening. I can see tracks like Nokia, which has a bit more of a dancey feel, really taking off because social media likes energy in their music. So I could see that popping off with like TikToks and maybe some YouTube shorts or even IG Reels. But outside of that, there's a lot of songs that just don't work on this album. Personally, for me, I feel like this album is more of some less memorable songs for you rather than some sexy songs for you. all in all, I just don't think that this is a good body of work from Drake. I really expected better work from him. During his most recent tour, he did say that he will have a one-on-one conversation with us. So that sounds to me like he is going to put out another album maybe by the summer. That probably won't be something in which he's trying to do this sexy songs vibe. Maybe it'll be something more aligned to the rap side where he can really talk about what his life has been like since this whole thing popped off in spring of 2024. But this is just passable for me. I don't think that it's a good album. I had really high expectations and it fell flat on all of them. I don't see myself revisiting this album outside of maybe one or two songs here or there. But with that being said, you guys let me know what you think about this album. Did you think he accomplished what he came out here to do? You think this was a sexy album? Do you think that Drake is going to accomplish regaining his image with this album? Personally, I don't think so, but you guys sound off in the comments and let us know. And please go ahead, like I said, do us a favor if you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe if you want more of what we do, and just have a good one. I am Aaron, this is In Crowd Network. This was my impressions of some sexy songs for you, PartyNextDoor and Drake. I'm out of here. Peace.